Today is a day. Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome back to the Don't Call Me Heather YouTube channel. My name's Hiba, not Heather. Today we have another episode of Crochet and Chaos. The internet isn't working right. I lost one of my little micro crochet leaves. Like, how am I supposed to find this on the ground? And it's a smaller one than this. Anyways, I wanted to record this video to try to help me be less frazzled today and get stuff done and together. So we have a market this weekend, as we do. I have a list of things that I also need to do that are not crochet related today. So let's see if we can get this work done together. And hopefully you're having a better day than I am. Alrighty, as we do, I got my to-do list going on. So this is what we have. I need to make another leaf for that sunflower. Attach them, need to do the hair clip. Next, my mesh top. I think I've mentioned it before, I'm not entirely sure. I do plan on making a pattern for it. I don't know what happened when I made my mesh pride tops last year, and I wrote a very detailed pattern for myself, but I guess I just forgot all of it and threw it out the window, because when I'm making this one, I've had to redo it so many times now, and I don't understand. So getting that done, and I want to give you an update on that. I need to do some non-crochet things, some other business things, some June-July market applications, and I also want to do on my Instagram. I don't know if I'll post it on my community tab. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing here as well. But I would like to do a new product highlight situations. The rest of these, I don't necessarily think I'll get done today, but they do need to get done. So I want to make a heart poncho in pride colors. I'll put a picture of the inspo right here. So I found it on Pinterest. There were a bunch of different pins, I think that's what they're called, that multiple different people had posted about it. So I'm not really sure who the original creator is, but essentially it's this stitch pattern and they just did it in a poncho form. So I plan on doing that. If I do make some kind of pattern or something with it, let me know if you'd be interested in something like that. And what's next? I need to do the lining on this freaking raffia purse. Y'all, this guy, so cute. I think it would potentially sell this weekend. So adorable. I definitely want to get more raffia yarn to make some more of these. I would definitely want to make a tutorial for this because I think it's just so cute and fun and different. So yeah, I want to make a lining. As you can see, I already did the button closure. Oh, I want to make some daffodils. So I found this cute daffodil pattern by Jade and Stitch. I think that'll be fun. I'm going to obviously do it in micro crochet form. Might make it into a hair clip. Here's the hair clips in question. Might make them into earrings. Not entirely sure just yet. But I need to essentially R&D, test that out, see what I need to change for it in micro form and such. Next, I definitely want to make some more of my African flowers. I don't have any, and I would like to have some for this weekend. I think they would fit really well on these hair clip blanks. What's next? And mushrooms, of course, is my best seller for chapstick, lighters, whatever you want to put in them. I am currently sold out of them, so I need to make more because they are a great seller for markets. I have already made a bunch of marble pushers because I was out of those as well. I definitely always make more of those, and if I have time I will make more of those. But yeah, this is the list that we're going off of right now, and I think we can do it. I think you and me, we can get this done. Let me know what project you're working on. What are your goals for this week? And I hope that you've accomplished them and you have superseded them. Ta-da! Outfit change. So this is the situation with the mesh top right now. I've made it into a crop top. I've already done the bottom bordering, and this was the first, no, this is not even the first attempt. This is the second or third attempt of a sleeve, because the way that this fits with this smaller yarn, because originally I made this pattern with worsted.
May she rest in peace.
This is a 3-weight. This is Line Brand True Boo, so very soft. I think this would be a great mesh top. The flow, the drape of it, very cute, very great. However, because it is a smaller yarn, smaller hook, smaller stitches, it doesn't go as big as I thought it was going to, because this is the size large of the pattern and it didn't go just to here, Before, it did go a little bit further, like just enough to be like over the shoulder. So I had to do some adjustments to that. I added some rows this way, and now I'm finally going around and I'm going to do maybe a couple rows more so it is more like a t-shirt length, and I think that would be good. If I had time, I would do the whole sleeve, but for right now, I think this is good. So I do need to undo this, because this is so much. Like, I was doing it and I was like, this is too many mesh squares. Look at that. No. Now I've switched colors because I don't have that much of this mauve color, and I want to make sure I have enough to do this side. So I'm switching to this like champagne-y color. What is it called? This is sand. And I believe the other one is called mauve. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I was thinking maybe of doing like picots or something on the border, because I think that'd be cute. Like a little lacy kind of situation. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But let's get winding. If you're wondering how I was able to use one skein of yarn to do both sleeves at the same time, I just picked up from a different side of the skein. So originally I was using the center pull, and then I used the outside pull for the sleeve I'm actually happy with and working on. So this is going to be a little bit tricky to unwind, but you and I, we got this. We're going to figure it out, and everything's going to be alright. Completely forgot that the mauve was still attached. Alright, let's go ahead and cut that guy off. The most important part during this step is to make sure your cat is not in the room and the office door is closed and there are no cats in here, so I can actually do this. So the inspiration behind doing this top and these colors specifically is I already had it in my stash. And I was out of my Joann's Living unofficial gay yarn and Joann's closing, so couldn't really make any more pride tops out of it. I thought it would be cute, and if someone wanted a non-pride top, here it is. And I think if you haven't felt True Boo, I think Loops and Threads, like Michael's brand, even has a dupe of it. It is so soft. It is rayon from bamboo. They tried to say that it's sustainable, but apparently the chemical process of processing the bamboo into rayon isn't very environmentally friendly, so take it with a grain of salt in terms of sustainability. But I already had it. It's so cute. It's so cute. Let's tackle the sleeve now. Pray for me. So I went ahead and took my stitch markers out so those don't fly all over the place or get in the way. But the way that I do the expansion on these mesh tops, by doing this half double crochet foundation row in order to increase the size of the top from the yoke onto the chest. So that expanded row sits at your armpit, so you don't necessarily need to start the sleeve if you have a tank top form from going all the way around. You need to build up a shoulder area. So that's why it was really loose, because I had too many stitches, because I was going all the way around that armhole instead of just starting to make a shoulder and then going from there. 2 maybe rows, if you can see what I'm talking about. I'll just split this open like so, and I find the yarn has an easier time coming out this way and I get less tangles. This yarn is very slippery and soft, so I need to be more careful and not try to wind it as fast because that's making it slip off the cake, and that doesn't really help us.
Crisis alert! Tuberculosis outbreak! Crisis!
Okay, so as you saw, the yarn is just too slippery, so I just did it by hand, and now there's a nice little gap in the skein. So you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to just put this cake back in there, and we're gonna work from there. Innovation that excites. So yeah, this is gonna work. Is it the prettiest? No, but that's fine. We're going to use it to make something pretty, and that is what matters. I think I'm going to do a couple more rows, and now I'm doing the whole entire circle. So I think, let's see how many rows do I currently have. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the sand row is 8. Does anyone else hate counting mesh? Like, of all of the stitches, mesh is like the worst to count for me. Let's try to make it to 10 and then check back in.
And we're never heard from again.
Hello. It's been a pretty busy day today. I've been doing a lot of businessy related things, working on updating my website, my YouTube, such, trying to get things uniform. I wasn't able to do much work yesterday. I ended up filming my YouTube video about me shaving my head. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. But I've just been working on some micro crochet African flower motifs, record video about those. Started on another pair right here, my pink and white pair that I have on my website. And I'm just thinking about how my event is Saturday. It is currently almost 9 p.m. on Thursday. I didn't even get to work on these until like after midnight yesterday and didn't go to bed until like 4 a.m. Mistakes, yes. I did try to attempt to work up the heart poncho design. So this is what I came up with. I was trying to figure out if it's worked from the bottom up or bottom down, and I think based off of this, I've realized that it is from top down. Because as you can see, the little picot right here that's supposed to be for the heart is sticking upwards rather than downwards. And if I was working down, I believe it would be sticking down. So, okay, so I actually found this other pin that shows row by row how you're supposed to do it. So apparently it is worked from the bottom up. So that's going to need some more R&D. I'm not going to work on that anymore for this week. That's going to be a next week project, so stay tuned for that. As far as the mesh top goes, honestly, I didn't even get much work done on the mesh top. I stopped. Oh my god, I didn't even put a stitch marker in. Okay, so I don't remember what happened, but I started working on something else and didn't really do much more with this. I haven't made any progress on my mushrooms, and I really need to do that. So this event is supposed to be a pretty big event. This event has been happening like annually, but this is the largest one that they've had to date. So that's exciting. Tomorrow they're allowing for setup, and then Saturday's the actual event. So I plan on going with one of my vendor friends. They also have a booth. They don't have assigned booths, but so it's like first come first serve. So my main goal is to just put my tent. I don't even think I'm going to necessarily set anything up. They do say there's overnight security, but I think the only thing I'm really going to set up is my tent, and then my tables, and then some of my display pieces I'm just going to put there in my tent. I'll have the walls up on my tent, I think, and that way I can contain all of my stuff and be sure to take a picture of it before I leave so I know if anything was tampered with. But I'm definitely not going to leave any of my crochet pieces or anything like that overnight. I don't want it to get damaged. I'm trying to figure out right now what color to do for this flower, and then I realized, I was like, these colors look so familiar. I wonder why the colors look so familiar. So that was funny coincidence. But yeah, I think I'm gonna just try to finish working on these, maybe sew up those mushrooms like I talked about before, so those are done. Gonna finish that sunflower that's not put together yet for that hair clip. I don't know if I'm gonna turn these into a hair clip. I don't know if that would be cute colors for a hair clip. I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick to them being earrings. I've already made the two. And then this one, I don't know if I'll turn it into a hair clip. I could, but I might just do earrings as well for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I was only doing mostly like businessy stuff. I still do need to fill out those market applications that we had mentioned though, so I need to get on that. I did go through and I bookmarked on Canva, or I really just like pull up all of the templates that I like into like one document, and that way they're all like right there and I can pick exactly which one I want to use and have all my options right there for me to go through, because I like a specific style. I kind of like the 8-bit retro-y style for my stuff, so that's what I did, so I can go ahead and do that new product spotlight that I had mentioned. I'll check in tomorrow, maybe get some footage of the tent setup stuff. Alrighty, so here's the footage of the setup today. Like I said, this is going to be the largest to date of this event that they have, so the Fleur de Fleet, and I'm really excited. Inshallah, God willing, it's going to be a really good event. Me and my booth friend are right next to each other, Ember Crow Art. I'll put their stuff right here. And I pretty much, like I said, I just put up my tent, took a picture of the inside, and then put up the 4 walls just in case everything. I don't know how many walls I'm going to keep up tomorrow. I'm just sort of going to see and play it by ear. My tent is like one of the hardest things for me to set up, and just having to deal with, lugging all of the stuff out of the car and getting it over there is really the biggest struggle. So just having it there is going to take a lot of weight off of me and having to get everything ready. I was thinking about stopping by Barrett Babes, which is where I did my pop-up last weekend, to get some more of my products for the market, because I realized just now that I thought they just had my mesh pride tops in my mystery turtles, but I just realized that they also have my beaded bracelets. So I was going to get it, but now that I remember why I decided not to, literally just now, is because they are having a bake sale for Palestine. So actually, I think I'm going to leave the stuff there because it'll probably sell there. I think I have enough inventory and products that I don't need to take anything. But if I do, my spouse said that they'll just run over and get it for me, which is very greatly appreciated. The event does start at 10 and Bear Babes does open at 10, so we'll see if I even need the stuff. Feeling good about it. I haven't worked on anything. The only thing I did last night after our check-in was I did finish those market applications that I had mentioned needing to do, and bookmarked some other markets that I was thinking about doing for the next couple of months for June and July. My cat is being a heathen. So yeah, I'm going to eat my leftover mo's and finish the things that are on my desk. I made myself a little to-do list. Is my to-do list a little delusional for the fact that it's 8 p.m. right now, thinking that I can get all of this done tonight? Yeah, it is. I didn't realize it was this late. Okay. I was gonna do a little inventory, but I pretty much think I already know what I have, so might just skip that. I do want to do the lining in the raffia bag because, like I said, I do think that will sell, so I already have the fabric cut out as well for it, so girl, just do it. So I'm gonna do that. I was gonna make some more bee bracelets. So I just take one of my little bee charms. I do purchase these from Barrel of Beads, and I just string into it 3 strands of crochet thread, and then I braid them and put little knots at the ends, and then I make a square knot with some black crochet thread. Super cute, very comfortable, very easy to make. So I think I might do that because I think I already have one. Oh, actually, yeah, right here. I already have one done. So I think I can easily crank out a couple of these, and that will be, try to supplement the less bracelets that I have anyways, because I don't think I have time to make some more beaded bracelets. Let's see, I did want to do 2 more flower hair clips, which I think I can do pretty fast, pretty easily. Like I mentioned, I pretty much have a sunflower already done. I just need to sew the leaves and then glue it on there, so that would be pretty quick to do. Those mushrooms, still haven't sewn them together. Literally, like, I need to show you. This is ridiculous. Oh my god, I forgot I already have some mushroom tops done. Girl! But there's 3 mushrooms. Literally like this. I just have to sew the stem part right here and close it up. So I'm definitely doing that right now. This could be the first thing actually that I do, and I definitely need those because those are like a bestseller for me. So yeah, I think we're gonna do that. Finish up these African flowers on my desk. No progress was made on these from what I showed you yesterday, but that's okay. It's all right. My cat is being a heathen. What are you doing? Super excited for tomorrow. Got my Square Reader charging. It's probably done charging now. And I do need to add some more data onto my phone because I used it all. So yeah, I'm gonna go do those things, and I'll try to get some footage of the event tomorrow because I think that would be fun, and maybe do a tiny little market recap. We'll see. Let me know if you want that kind of stuff. And yeah. So on Friday, I spent half my day doing the setup of the event space. So it is under a viaduct right on the river. As you can see, it's a large space. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage during the event of just to show you how big the event is with all of the booths and the food trucks and stuff. But this is what it looked like. So I spent half my day Friday just doing the setup. I just left my tent, and on Saturday, spent the whole day there. It was pretty busy. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be doing this market again, and I'm kind of disappointed about this market because this market is held by like a big local vintage shop in town. And I even tried to apply to this market last year, and it was like already filled up because they have so many makers, and it seemed like they were very particular about who they let in. So it seemed like it was an actual juried market where they make sure like to take the time to pick what vendors they want to have there. So with all that being said, and their focus of being like vintage, like handmade kind of thing, the fact that the seller next to me was just selling manufactured jewelry really rubbed me the wrong way. And then just realizing, oh, this isn't my vibe, this isn't my crowd, because it was very much giving people who are into vintage because vintage is the in thing, not because they care about vintage quality or like the sustainability aspect of it, which is why I thought that my items, being crochet items, handmade items, would be a good fit for that kind of crowd. But it's not the crowd that I thought it was. And people, the booth that I was talking about like all the manufactured jewelry and stuff, was right next to me, and they were extremely busy the whole entire market. I'm, happy to see other booths and vendors be busy during a market, but when your market's supposed to be like vintage and like more of that line of things, and then you have a manufactured vendor there, that doesn't really make sense to me. That seems like the opposite of what it's supposed to be. And then it just, made sense to me like, oh, that's what customers were looking for, not looking for my items. I had plenty of people, of course, stop at my booth and were like, oh my god, micro crochet, oh my god, this is so beautiful. And then just continue to walk a couple feet to go to the vendor that was right next to me. So that was pretty disappointing given the size of the event and what I projected a good profit amount would be. This event just isn't it for me. So it was $125 booth fee. It essentially took up a day and a half, Friday, half the day set up, all of Saturday. And it was just not worth it. My friend and I were doing this market together, so the booth right next to me, Ember Crow Art, and Ember had a similar experience of this market just not being taking up a day and a half, that higher booth fee. It was pretty difficult to even get like people to come into the tent for some reason. I greeted like every single person that walked by, and of course I had some of those rude people who were literally like, I had one lady who I said hello to her, like, all I'm doing is greeting you kindly in a nice way. This is exactly what happened. She was walking, she stopped in her tracks, made a whole like big gesture of like turning around to look to see who I was talking to, because I couldn't possibly be talking to her. I couldn't possibly be talking to her. So yeah, that was, you know, a clear indicator to me that this is definitely not my vibe, and I'm not going to be doing it again. So
Well, live and learn.
I did get some sales. I was able to bring my booth fee back. I made some profit, but nowhere near enough to justify all of the stuff that goes into having to set up for this event and that cost for that booth fee. So that was a little disappointing, but hey, you know, you don't know until you try. So I'm going to go ahead and start market prepping for next weekend, and hopefully actually finish this bag, because I never did get around to finishing it. I ended up just finishing the mushrooms that I already had stems for, and then 3 out of the 4 caps that I already had done, which those are always a good seller. I sold some of those. I sold one of my crochet chokers, the like red drapey one that I had posted about. What else? Oh, some mushroom earrings. Those are always like a sell. They're like a $5 item. People love those. Sold a couple watermelon bracelets, which is great. So I was able to make a donation for those. And I sold one of the bee bracelets, so that was fun. I was pretty much just working on these during the event. I had already like strung some up, so I was just like braiding them during the event, and then started working on like a different design for it. But yeah, bandanas, I did sell a few of those. I expected to sell more of those. I don't know what it is. It's bandana season, but I'm not really selling them. So at one point during the market, I'll put the picture here, I just like hung them up kind of like they were like a decoration type thing to sort of like bring more people in. So that was it for the Fleur de Flee event. You know, disappointing is what it is. Thankful that I did make a profit at the end of the day. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, was because I had a smaller booth size, which is a 10 by 10 was the smallest that they had. But because of that, I wasn't able to have parking, so I had to pay for parking, and parking all day was another $24, which Ember split it with me because we carpooled and stuff, but I'm still like all of that, so that's basically like $150 just to do the event, not including my gas of going there for 2 days. It just, you know, all that adding up, it just really wasn't worth it. And then, you know, there are rude people everywhere, so I don't think that's necessarily something exclusive to this event, but definitely thank you for tuning in and joining me on my corner of the internet. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. All of those things are free and they greatly help, and I greatly appreciate them. If you would like to support the channel even more, you can shop any of my items at dcmhhippo.store. Remember folks, don't call me Heather.